when people come in, they'll say, is this a coffee shop? Or what is this place? And I think, when they ask that, that's kind of a way to let me know that they've never been inside a coffee shop such as Kentucky knows. My idea was to take the most conservative folks and allow them to see bourbon in a way that could be accepted in everybody's home. Kentucky knows Bourbon-Barrel Coffee is much different than I think than anybody has ever created. One, because we use a premium Arabica washed bean. We resource all of our beans from Antigua, Guatemala. Our coffee, of course, is roasted inside of a 73-year-old German gas belt-fed Probat drum roaster. All of our beans, of course, sleep inside of the Buffalo Trace Distillery bourbon barrels long enough to pick up those barrel-aged flavors. So you're going to get notes and hints of those caramelized sugars, and as well as those tannin sugars that are from the actual wood. The coffee, of course, is placed inside of a concrete mixer, of course, a makeshift mixer, and then allowing that concrete mixer to tumble and aerate the coffee so that those flavors of caramelized sugars and spice and vanilla would be infused into the bean instead of using artificial flavors. And of course, we are handcrafting all of our craft, from our coffee scoops, our cutting boards, our lights that are made from the bands of the bourbon barrels, and then of course taking that char flake from the bourbon barrels once that bourbon's dumped from the barrel and placing it into the bag so that a piece of Kentucky, and as well as the buffalo, if you will, can be taken into everybody's home and share with their family. Yeah, so what I'm doing is we take the bungs that fill the bung holes of the barrels, and we then stamp the barrel bungs with the types of coffee, the different flavors of the barrel-aged coffee that we offer, and then we glue them by hand, just as we do everything in our craft. For me, growing up in Lexington, it was rather tough. We used to get our clothes donated to us from the Catholic charities. We used to have to put duct tape on our shoes to keep the rain out. And then, of course, even having to take and put sugar in our water to have something sweet to drink. But at the same time, the struggle itself was a testimonial, as I've said in the past. There is beauty in the struggle, and I think that if there's no struggle in your story, you're not going to have a foundation to be able to create and make people feel special. You have to be tested, if you will. Once having to drop out of school, I went on to, of course, study for my GED, and then from there went on to the Marine Corps. I was with the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit. Something that's very special for me that I still hold true even to this day is working with Buffalo Trace. I grew up in Lexington. They're just down the street from the James E. Pepper Distillery. I used to ride my bike down through there with my friends, of course, as a kid. When I was here walking the grounds of Buffalo Trace Distillery, there was a small cabin, and I thought that that cabin was a part of the tourist attraction, but I didn't know that this space was a private area. When I opened that door, there was a tall man standing inside this cabin. Mr. Brown, of course, is who that was, but did not even tell me who he was. That played a big impact on me because he talked to me just as if he was a regular Joe and as if I really mattered. He took about 15 or 20 minutes of his time and just engaged me like I was the only thing going on in that room. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks for coming in. Yeah, something that's very important to me here in my Bourbon-Barrel Coffee shop is relationships. And I think you can't just do that with a cup of coffee. There has to be a human involved with that. Soon there will not be an interaction with human beings. And something that I want to try to maintain or stabilize is that human interaction. I want people to know that there's a heartbeat in every piece, that when they do walk out of here, they still feel that resonate with them in their own home. And the folks that are wanting to come in and learn and have an experience and a relationship, you're going to be able to come in and do that while having or sipping on a fresh cup of roast Bourbon-Barrel coffee.